Hello people, this is Latsu7 and you are not seeing things. This is an upload from me to YouTube. So yeah, you are indeed seeing it correctly after 3 long weeks, at least for Bidoof I assume. Yeah, I am back uploading battles again, and you might be wondering, why did you take so long? What were you doing this time? Why did you make us wait this long for your upload? Well, that's because I kinda have been busy. And there was this one thing that I wanted to have before I uploaded something new, and you might be guessing what it is. You might be guessing what it is indeed, and I shall indeed reveal it to you here and now. That's right, my ladies and gentlemen, that's right indeed. I have a new overlay on my videos, and that is indeed extremely spectacular because this, if you compare this to my previous overlay, you can just say that this one looks way better. It actually is an overlay, it's not just sidebars with colors on them. So yeah, it has Hazard, it has Dragonair, my signature Pokemon, it has Mega Man, what I like to play. I played it through Mega Man 2 till 4, I think. I have played 1, but I have not finished it just yet because I just haven't found myself to get around that. But I have played the older Mega Man games on the NES and I have greatly enjoyed them. So yeah, this overlay just looks spectacularly appealing, and I just honestly like the color of blue a lot, and their overlay is basically based around it. Mega Man is blue, Dragonair is blue, the battle window also is covered with blue. I mean, it's surrounded by the blue box right there, and their names are blue, the Pokémon Wi-Fi battles are blue, and it all fits together. If I would say, if it would be a video, I would say that it keeps the flow intact, it keeps the same theme, it keeps a strong theme in it, and it also has the Crash Bandicoot boxes behind the Pokeballs. So yeah, but yeah, I honestly have been liking to have a strong theme going on with something. For example, I like Crash Bandicoot games because they have that strong theme going with them, even though the music in it might be it kinda differs quite a bit from stage to stage, but the bonus stages still keep that strong theme what they always have been, and that is a great thing what I like a lot. But yeah, also about the overlay, I have to greatly I have to show my gratitude to TS Vector and Lex Apnea, who were kind enough to make this overlay for me, and I have just cannot thank them enough for making this certain overlay because it just looks amazing. And you could say in comments how the overlay looks to you and tell me what you think about it, my dear viewer. And also there's Hazard, so that's a nice little thing, so it keeps things clear for you as well. So yeah, and now that we have stopped gushing about the overlay, we should start speaking about the battle itself, the team preview, if you will. So yeah, the teams here are consistent of Hydreigon, Chandelure, Hitmontop, Gyarados, Ferrothorn, and Rachi on my side, and on the opponent side, on the Bidoof side, on the BidoofsCrazyVideos side, he has Espeon, Seldio, Kippy, the Swampert, Final Boss, the Conkeldurr, Ferrothorn, and then the Gangnam of the Venomoth. So yeah, the biggest threats on my opponent's side are most definitely the fighting types, Seldio and Conkeldurr. Conkeldurr because it can set up bulk ups and it can be quite tricky to take down, even though I have a solid counter for it. But it still can have that Mach Punch for my Hydreigon, what I feel that is quite important Pokemon because it's my fastest thing. And Seldio because if it is Scarfo specs, it can deal massive amount of damage from the get-go, and it can pose a problem to my side. So yeah, and I honestly have to also have to tell you people how great of a guy Bidoof is, you know. Bidoof himself has been commenting on pretty much on every video of mine except for the Kingdom Hearts battles, but those are not what he really has had interest in because I didn't narrate them, I didn't talk about them, they're just there if you want to watch them, if you are into Kingdom Hearts challenges. But yeah, Bidoof has honestly been liking and commenting on pretty much on all of my videos, and I really appreciate that. from him, and we have been befriending each another. We have been doing some dual narrations on PBR and stuff, so if you want, you can go to Bidoof channel and check that out. And also, I would most definitely recommend you guys to subscribe to Bidoof, because he does very interesting movies, if you can call them that, with his quote-unquote Kirby's, so these pink stuffed animals of his. So yeah, anyway, I've been dragging this way too long, and I've been making you wait for so long for my comeback, and now I'm just gonna tell you that it's time to begin the match. So, here we are challenged by Bidoof Kirby. So yeah, the pink fluff challenges us and our high dragon, the vanitas that shall bring darkness upon this world. The opponent is gonna bring in the Psyshan lead over it, as I'm gonna drop a Draco Meteor. Draco Meteor will do a fair bit of damage to the Espion, but it lives with 19 HP and he's gonna retaliate with Light Screen. I went with Draco Meteor because I was expecting my opponent to switch out, because they would have been expecting me to be scarred, but they didn't really expect that, I believe. So I had to drop a Draco, and now the Espion is still hanging around. So yeah, I'm just gonna bring in my Hitmontop to A, take on the Ferrothorn, what would come in, or B, take out the Espion with Mach Punch of mine. So the opponent is gonna either A, predict my Hitmontop, or B, take advantage of my High Dragon. They're gonna bring in the Gangnamoth, and they're gonna set up on the face of my Hitmontop as I bring in my Gyarados. I do have Stone Edge, but I don't wanna risk it missing, so yeah, I just don't wanna do that. I'm gonna bring in my Screwdriver as a Leaf Order, and then I'm gonna double onto my Ferrothorn as also as a Leaf Order. I wanted to bring in my Gyarados first, because if they would have gone with Sleep Powder, I could have brought in my Jirachi to deal with the Gangnamoth very easily. And now that Gyarados does have Roar, I still now wanted to bring in my Gyarados to roar the incoming Seldio, Psyshan, or anything out with my Gyarados, because it does have max HP and it does have a fair bit of special defense investment, and it's gonna take that +1 Hydro Pump pretty well, and it's gonna roar the Seldio out, and that will bring in Kippy. And if you remember Kippy, that is awesome, because you remember how it got punched into the face with Dynamic Punch. So the Waterfall is gonna deal a fair bit of damage to Kippy, but I don't get what I was looking for, the flinch, ladies and gentlemen, and the Kippy is gonna slither the sticky pebbles around my side, what is very, very unfortunate for me. So, Kippy here is gonna restore a fair bit of HP from its leftovers, and as I'm gonna pull back my Screwdriver and bring in my Jirachi to deal with this Kippy a bit better. Or I could have gone with U-turn to scout, and yeah, well yeah, the opponent's gonna bring in a Ferrothorn. I honestly could have not gotten a first switch out. I could have not. So I'm just gonna go with the U-turn, because my Jirachi pretty much cannot touch this Ferrothorn. No question about that. So I'm just gonna bring in my Judgment to intimidate the Ferrothorn, and so I can get it off with my Rapid Spin. Because I honestly think that I should get rid of those sneaky pebbles, because the fact is that I have 2 Pokemon weak to Stealth Rocks, and I don't want to hinder their switchings. So yeah, I'm just gonna go with the Rapid Spin after the turn the Ferrothorn goes with the T-Wave on my Hitmontop. So as I was U-turned out onto it, so the final boss will come in, emerge from its Pokeball it shall, as I Rapid Spin away the rocks, the hazards, and now I'm just sitting here. Oh dear, I don't really want to deal with this Skarkelder right here. So I'm just gonna pull a switch of my own, and I'm gonna pull a switch to my Jirachi, because I do have that, I will flood with that stab of my Jirachi, and now the Psyshan shall come in, it shall reflect up, and as I go with the U-turn and take out the Espion, no question about that, it will not live from 19 HP, even with a left up, so yeah. I'm just gonna pull back my Jirachi and bring in my Vanitas, because it is one of my fastest Pokemon what I have. And the opponent is gonna bring a Ferrothorn, and I'm gonna go with the Fire Blast, but it misses! It misses! The Ferrothorn is a freaking ninja, and it dodges my Fire Blast, retaliating the Gyro Ball, and deals a massive amount of damage to my Dragon! And now it's just sitting here. It's sitting here. It should be gone. It should be gone. It should have not lived a Fire Blast from my Hydreigon. Because it has 99% chance or so to KO if it's max spec team. So yeah, I'm just gonna bring in my Jirachi. Because I was expecting my opponent to switch out because they would not want to stay in against a Scarf Hydreigon with Fire Blast. So they're gonna bring in the special defensive Swampert. As I go onto my Jirachi, I'm gonna crit it! And I don't feel bad about that at all. Because the fact is that this Ferthon, what is sitting right in front of me, should be long gone. It's gonna go with Lead Seed and on my Judgment, the Hate-Mon tap, and I honestly don't feel that it's gonna be too much of a problem. I'm just gonna switch out my Judgment and I'm gonna bring in my Crimson to threaten this out, and the opponent actually is gonna see that coming and they are gonna throw the weather Proton and gonna bring in the Gangnam, and now they are gonna set up a Quiridas for some odd reason. I don't know why, but I will go with the almighty Fire Blast against this Gangnam. It shall not leave even with +1 because of the power of life or power of stab and power of 140 base special attack. Insurance comes in, and now I don't want to stay in and take a high grab up with my Prism, so I'm gonna bring in my Screwdriver because I do resist this dual stab. So that was a safe switch as it goes with the Hydro Pump! It's gonna deal a fair bit of damages because it is a critical hit, my ladies and gentlemen. But there is a little thing on my silver lining. Because the reflect is gonna wear off and I will be able to start doing things with my Gyarados. For example, I shall set up a DD as the opponent is gonna hit me with the Sacred Sword, and now my Gyarados, the Screwdriver, is now faster than the Celdio. And you know what you do when you are faster? You go with a Waterfall! Trying to get the flinch, and I, of course, don't get the flinch, and the opponent is gonna go with the Sacred Sword and take my Gyarados down. So that's the end of the Tale of Screwdriver, and the opponent for opposing Insurance is sitting in front of me, and I'm just gonna bring in my Hydreigon, and my Hydreigon indeed to deal with this Celdio right here. So my opponent is gonna bring in a Ferthon to take the almighty Draco, but it misses the Ferthon, the Ninja Ferthon, the Ninja Shiny Ferthon judges the Draco Meteor as well. It didn't matter as much, but it still damn well dodged it. So yeah, I'm just gonna bring in Judgment, the 8 months have to deal with this Ferthon. They're gonna predict that, go with the Power Whippo, and deal a fair bit of damage to my Judgment, even after the Intimidate drop. So here I'm just gonna bring in my Jirachi, actually the Crimson, I'm gonna bring in the Chimera, the 3-headed beast, my Ferthon, to deal with this Ferthon, and it cannot do much. The Iron Bob's damage do more to this Ferthon than the Power Whip. So the thing is that I'm expecting my opponent to expect me to switch out to... I am expecting my opponent to stay in so I could make up my Ferthon, so I expected that from them, so they would bring in a fighting type like this final boss sitting in front of me. So I'm just gonna bring in my Jirachi, and now I will go with the almighty Spec-Sply-Chick! And it's gonna do a fair bit of damage to the Ferthon, but I was hoping for a Spec-D drop. That didn't happen, so I don't get the chance to 3-hit KO this thing. So I have to pull back my Jirachi, and I have to bring in my Chimera, the 3-headed beast, my Ferthon, to take on the Thunder Wave of my opposing's Ferthon. And here the thing is that I honestly do want to wake up my Ferthon because I expect them to stay in on this time because of the fact that my Ferthon, I pulled some double switches back on, and so I'm gonna wake up the second turn, go with Thunder Wave of my own, and paralyze the opposing Ferthon! So that is great on my behalf, even though it doesn't matter all that much. So the opponent is gonna paralyze my Ferthon as well, so that is a bit unfortunate, but there isn't much to it. It doesn't matter all that much when you look at it. So here I'm just gonna set up a layer of spikes, expecting my opponent to expect me to stay in, and indeed, expecting my opponent to expect me to switch out. Sorry about that. So yeah, Now that they see that I'm gonna just set up these spikes, I'm just gonna stay in, and now, on this turn, I was going with the Thunder Wave, but I get paralyzed indeed. I don't get to activate this Conkeldur's guts, and yeah. I honestly wanted to get this Conkelder paralyzed because it would have been a safety net for my Jirachi. So for my Jirachi, if it would get paralyzed, it would still be faster than this Conkelder. So yeah, it's gonna go with Drain Punch on my judgment as I bring it in. It's basically as an Intimidate fodder, and then I'm just gonna thinking that, I'm thinking that I should bring in my Crimson, and they are gonna predict my Crimson to come in and bring in the Soldier of theirs, and I'm just gonna do just that and bring in my Crimson there, Chandelure. So this is a bit of a sticky situation for me because I know that I cannot outpace this Insurance, but I still wanna pull back my Crimson because I think that it is quite important Pokemon at this point. So I'm just gonna bring in my Phelton, what is much less useful than my Crimson at this point. Take the Hydro Pump pretty well. And here, I'm just sitting here in front of this Celdio, and I am flooding with that Power Whippo to deal with this Celdio. But I honestly feel that I should go with something else. I feel like I should go with something else to slow the Celdio down, perhaps. And indeed, I'm gonna go with the Thunder Wave and activate the Conkeldur's Guts. So here, this is my safety net, what I'm talking about. Even though now, if my Jirachi gets paralyzed, I can still outspeed this Conkelder. So yeah, that is a great thing on my behalf. And now I'm just gonna pull back my three-headed beast and bring in my Judgment. As a death fodder, basically, because I just wanted to sack my Judgment so I could get a free switch onto my Jirachi as the Conkelder gets paralyzed. If the opponent went with Volcap and predicted me, that was a great play on their part, but if they would have gone Drain Punch, my plans are foiled! So here I'm just gonna bring in Crimson as a pretty much a something to take the Drain Punch with, so I could just go with that. Yeah, and here I'm just sitting here and thinking that maybe this Conkeldurr doesn't have anything to hit me with, so let's set up a stop! The opponent is gonna go with a Payback! And it's gonna do a fair bit of damages to my substitute. It destroyed even. So that means that this Conkeldurr does indeed have something to hit my Crimson with, and I'm just gonna pull back onto my Vanitas High Dragon, so to take that payback and see how much it does. And I also wanted to bring my Vanitas to scout for one thing, and one thing only. When I bring in my 8-month up by Judgment, I wanted to scout if this Conkeldurr has the almighty Mach Punch, because if it doesn't have that, I pretty much would have the game in the back, and indeed it does have the Mach Punch, and that is very unfortunate for me. And now, as the Conkeldurr is -2, and my opponent is gonna expect to pull some switches. That doesn't happen. They are gonna pull the switch on their own on the Insurance as I go with the closest to combat 2. The close combat will deal a massive amount of damage to this Insurance, and I was hoping that, okay. So, I'm hoping that as my Judgment here is a superior fighting type, I shall judge this opposing soldier go with the Mach Punch! Hoping for KO, but I do a misjudgment of my own. The opponent's gonna go with the Sacred Sword and take my Judgment down! The Hitmontop faints, and I'm pretty glad that I was able to use this Hitmontop of mine on this battle. It did a pretty good job. It was able to ease up my things, and I'm just gonna bring in my Vanitas, go with you, turn, take this Celdio out with a critical hit, what I don't think mattered in the long run. If it would have mattered, I could have probably brought in my Phelton and then gone from there. So here I'm just gonna go and bring in my Jirachi as the opponent is gonna bring in a Phelton of their own, and now here I'm just thinking, okay, I'm gonna pull a switch to my Vanitas, because I honestly don't need it at this point, because I have Crimson to deal with this Phelton, because I have Jirachi to deal with that Conkeldurr. It has no bearing, no use for me anymore. So here the thing is that the Phelton is sitting in front of me, and I'm just gonna bring in my Crimson, and here I'm thinking, okay, let's do this. Let's set up a substitute in front of this ninja, and it's gonna, no! It is my duty to break your sob. With my Gyro Ball, I shall make it vanish, because I will not allow an easy victory for my team. My Crimson here is pretty upset about that, and it's gonna retaliate with Pain Split! And also it shall control the hack, so that the Proton will get paralyzed on this turn. And now, my Crimson is stealing a pretty good amount of HP, and I'm just gonna go with the Fire Blast! But it misses again! Proton returning with Gyro Ball as it's still hanging on there. It touches 2 Fire Blast, 1 Draco. I confirm you the fact that shiny Protons are freaking ninjas. So yeah, I'm just gonna go with the Pain Blade once again, and the opponent is gonna go with Gyro Ball on my Crimson, and I am gonna be on 58 HP after that, and I know that I'm not gonna live to life of it, so I'm thinking that maybe I could pull a little bit of surprise for the end of this video. I'm gonna hit the Fire Blast as I was hoping for, and now the Proton will be fried, it will be gone, and it will be packaged, and it will be buried down to the ground. So yeah, the final boss shall emerge from its Pokeball, and I shall go with the almighty Fire Blast! And I was hoping that it would not KO this Conkeldurr. I was thinking the Conkeldurr will be Poke enough, and it is! The final boss will hang on! It will hang on for one thing, and one thing only. It will go with a payback. It will miss the attack will fail without there, as there is no target. And now I will bring my own Jirachi, my own legendary Pokemon, to take on this final boss as it Mach Punches. And now I will unleash the Specs Draco Meteor! And the way it began with crit the final boss with the greatest finisher of all time! And that, my ladies and gentlemen, will be the match against BidoofsCrazyVideos! Woo! It's great to be back narrating again. I mean, honestly, I cannot emphasize it enough that I feel amazing when I narrate. It is just so much fun! So here is the previous battle. What you see here, it has never been uploaded on my channel, but it's uploaded on this little channel called the Poke Union HD. It's a collaboration channel for YouTubers like me who upload Pokemon related stuff, but you can upload there even if you do speed art, if you for example, do something like Let's Plays from Pokemon games. Even if you would do even a movie about Pokemon, I think that they would allow you to upload it. And I honestly would recommend you to check out this collaboration channel, as I think it has lots of potential and can help out the community of the Pokemon Wi-Fi battling and the Pokemon community as a whole. I also want to thank my friend Mike Wellsworth from who I will probably link into the channel description, as he helped me to make my channel banner. He was just irreplaceable assistance when it came down to that, so I really have to thank him. I'm gonna put perhaps an annotation somewhere, who knows, but I still am gonna put him onto the description of this video, no question about that. And yeah, that's pretty much it. So thank you guys for enduring my narration. Thank you guys for watching at this narration at this point. And like always, rate, comment, subscribe, and well, I honestly don't have anything else to say. So yeah, have a fine day.